everyone. Welcome to a brand new installment of Eyeota's Audience Data Sessions. I'm Kristina Prokop, CEO and co-founder of Eyeota. And today we're talking to Venkatesh, Affinity Answers Managing Director in APAC. Affinity Answers is a leader in social power data insights. And today we will be discussing the benefits of behavioral targeting versus demographic targeting. So thank you for joining us, Maya. We look forward to learning more about the importance of social engagement insights for brands and marketers. Take it away.
Sure. Thanks so much, Kristina. It's wonderful doing this session with you. And Eyeota, we are a global partner with Eyeota. And recently in the APAC, we partnered with you towards the end of 2020. It's been a great experience working with the team, and we really look forward to growing the business along with Eyeota in the APAC region. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself and, of course, Affinity Answers. So I'm Maya. I'm based in India, Bangalore, to be precise. And I've been with Affinity Answers for about 3 years. Affinity Answers itself is a Texas-based company. We are a data science company, been in existence for 15 plus years. And as you can see, our tagline is social insights activated anywhere. In terms of expansion into the APAC, the business was initially focused in the US, where most of our clientele, our audience buyers were in the US. But subsequently, we started exploring the European markets. And in the last couple of years, we've done some research into the APAC market, and we find that there is a real large potential for us to grow in the programmatic space in APAC. And when we say APAC, really, it's I would rather kind of separate it as Australia, New Zealand, and the rest of Asia, because we really see that Australia is a very mature market in terms of programmatic share. And of course, we do have China, which closely follows the US in terms of adoption of programmatic. And we see there are predictions that advertising revenues will grow by 16.1% in 2021. But apart from these two large markets in the APAC, we also cater to several other markets. Obviously, Singapore, Hong Kong, and India are more identified as mature programmatic markets and ready for adoption, or rather, I would say high adoption markets, while we see that Thailand, Indonesia, and Malaysia are more of medium adoption markets. So considering the potential in the APAC region, our audiences, or rather our audience business is widespread across Asia. And Eyeota is one of our leading partners with whom we work with in providing these customized as well as syndicated audiences. When you really look at a programmatic media buyer, the three key considerations that they have, or rather the drivers, are good quality data, the ability to measure and optimize on the go. And that then becomes a real KPI for any programmatic campaign to succeed. How easily are you able to evaluate the performance of the campaign? How easy it is to optimize? Are you really getting reach along with relevance? So again, Asia being one of obviously most of the population is on mobile, right? And OTT platforms and stuff, more with the advent of COVID. So we really see that these areas in terms of connected TV, OTT, linear TV are really going to receive significant budget increases in terms of ad spend in 2021. Now talking about demographic versus behavioral targeting, marketers typically have traditionally focused on demographic marketing, right? They have understood the basics of demographics. And when you say demographics, sex, age, marital status, and even income. But really, how much can you really target an evolving market based only on demographics, right? Because today consumers really demand personalization, uh, and we have to think of the fact, right? How many can we say that all 20-year-olds, aspire for the same model of automotive model, or the same car model, or the same bike model? All 40-year-old women may not really like the same kind of dresses, right? So how do you really bring in that differentiation? And that's where understanding the consumer's interest towards various brands, what are their likes, what are the celebrities they follow, which are the influencers that they follow. These give you really important insights to be able to have a better go-to-market strategy. So behavioral targeting is definitely very key for marketers who are looking to build advanced marketing strategies and relationships, because they can target people based on the insights that they get. And where do we get these insights from? It's online. Everybody is online, on social media, or in the real world. So demographic definitely does work in a lot of cases, and it has been working, right, for quite some time. But with the evolving market, with the changing digital landscape, we really believe that behavioral targeting definitely has an edge. So here, how does Affinity Answers really support behavioral targeting, or rather advanced behavioral targeting? So our entire, study, or our model, which is called the True Affinity Model, it is an in-house patented model, and it is really at the background of all our insights, learnings about people's engagements on social media, using which we are able to enrich and add attributes to partner IDs to be able to provision better audiences for targeting. Now, when you say advanced behavioral targeting, how does it really help? You definitely get a higher reach. At the same time, you do not lose relevance, right? You're able to bring in that personalization angle when you're displaying your ads. You definitely get a better bang for your buck, because you want your marketing spend to really yield a good ROI. Right? And while the traditional methods definitely help you target based on past purchase behavior, but how do you really uncover, future purchase intent? How do you uncover the likelihood of a customer buying? And also, if they are a fence sitter, would they switch over from your competition? So how do we do this? So True Affinity, as I said, we believe that people exhibit their true likes, dislikes, their opinions on social media, right? And it's a true depiction of what they love or what they do not love. And this is the study that our model does, where, obviously, that social media is a walled garden. So today, we have a very rich catalog built over the years, comprising of 40,000 plus entities, brands, movies, media and entertainment shows, celebrities, influencers. So we are able to collect or information on the social engagement that people do on the social media, on these social platforms. So currently it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and a newly added data source, which is Reddit. So we track engagements across 250 million plus people, and these numbers are obviously ever growing even as we speak, because there are more and more people getting onto social media, and brands also posting a lot of content on these social platforms. So the typical question which arises is that, okay, we need to keep in mind privacy compliance, right? So Affinity Answers is certified by Neutronian on our data quality, transparency, the methodology that we use to collect data, and how we also leverage the contextual indicators that we get from social media. We do not collect any PII information. So we are completely, GDPR and CCPA compliant as well. Now, once we collect this information from social media, what do we really do with it? This is not available for activation, or we do not sell this data, right? There comes our data partners into the picture. So once we collect the social data, it then gets fed into our true affinity model. So on a daily basis, there is a constant collection of data or learnings which the model gathers as on people, on their engagements with different brands, with brand posted content, with celebrities. And this information provides learnings to the model. So it's almost like teaching a kid, where you train the model, and then the model becomes capable of answering various questions which get thrown at it. So once the model has all the learnings, it can then be applied to any set of IDs that we receive from our partners, like Eyeota. So on a daily basis, we receive partner IDs, billions of partner IDs from you, right? And our model then scores each of those partner IDs and is able to enrich that data with information on people's affinities towards a particular brand. Or if you're looking at running a particular campaign, how can you find those people along with the basic deterministic audience that you already have? How can you also identify future purchase intent? How do you uncover or find out how likely people are to be interested in your brand, right? And that's through a score. So the true affinity model is a scoring model, and we kind of deliver insights and interest, which is beyond only past purchase behavior. So how does this help? When we score these partner IDs, we are able to uncover people who are interested in your brand, right? So that even tomorrow, if you are, running an ad for a particular campaign, you really want to show it to those people who want to see it or who are interested in that brand, right? You don't want to just do a spray and pray and think that, okay, whoever watches it, some of them may convert, right? So we are able to predict very accurately future purchase intent. Secondly, also people who are most likely to switch to your brand if targeted. So again, a conquesting strategy from your competitors. Similarly, what are the common interests between your brand and its customers, and where your brand has advantages over competitors? So the moment you're able to understand and target the passions of your of your customers, obviously, you're able to also maximize the potential of your sponsorships, be it the media sponsorships or celebrities sponsorships as well. So we have the true affinity model, and it's able to enrich the partner IDs beyond their deterministic actions to include interest, future purchase intent, behavioral patterns, right? And what do we do with that? So once we enrich these partner IDs, the billions of IDs that we enrich, we then are able to create audience segments. And these segments comprise of not only prior purchasers, but they also have IDs who have displayed an over-indexed affinity towards the target brand. So that's how we have our syndicated audiences on the Eyeota data desk, which we constantly review based on current market trends, seasonal campaigns, events coming up, and we create those audiences. At the same time, we work with with agencies as well as with our data partner, where they come to us with requests for specific custom audiences for some of their campaigns. These are very niche, granular audiences, which may not be really available out there from any data provider. And those are something which we are able to create and assist marketers with. So once you have these, custom built audiences as well, obviously monetizing data becomes really easy, right? You're able to increase the size and value of your existing data. You're able to add not only, you're able to target rather, not only your existing customers whom, your deterministic audience, but also you're able to add all potential new buyers, light buyers, right? Who are like, okay, they may be a yes or a no, and lapsed buyers, who would have come, visited your platform, they're still, deliberating between different brands. And if they are targeted with the right messaging, they could become your customer too. So, when we talk about behavioral audiences, and targeting using social affinity, how are we different? How is Affinity Answers different? Because every data provider can tell you, okay, we have a lookalike model, and we can create several lookalike models for you, right? We call ourselves an advanced lookalike model, or rather an act-alike model. And I'll just tell you how through this example. So if you look at, this two guys, both of them demographically same age groups, male living in Singapore, and their interests are pretty similar, right? Both are technology enthusiasts, they love movies, and they also dabble in financial services. Now, typically, they would be bucketed into the same category for targeting, right? When you are looking at broad interest levels to target. Now, when you bring in the brand level data difference, you may see that there's quite a shift. So both of them are technology enthusiasts, but one is an Android lover and the other, uses Apple devices. The genre of movies that they watch is completely different. The financial investments that they make are also completely different. So based on the specific target audience for a campaign, these two individuals may or may not be really bucketed into the same category, right? That is why you can see that the brand level data difference really helps you build an advanced lookalike model, or rather an act-alike model. So, that was, Kristina, that was about us, about Affinity Answers. Just to summarize, we understand people at a brand level. Our model, is able to understand people at a brand level versus a very broad interest level, thereby able to create audiences which are very specific to your campaign and which enable you to expand your reach, but without losing relevance. Because we have a rich catalog, we are tracking interests across a whole list of verticals and categories. It's brands, celebrities, digital properties, OTT, which is the kind of current in thing, connected TV, sports, gaming interests, movies. So just because of the length and breadth of the categories and verticals that we have information or insights on, we are able to enrich data records with a wide variety of attributes. And that's why we are kind of, a modeler, I would rather say a model of choice for our data partners. We do not need any PII data to enrich records. So in this current, privacy conscious world where you have a whole lot of regulations around, data privacy and people not willing to share their information and the cookieless, landscape coming up, we do not need any PII data to enrich records. So we are an ID agnostic model. And, we are obviously, we know that Eyeota also is and has an ID agnostic approach. So we, I think, will work very well in this partnership to kind of be ready for, an ID and a cookieless landscape well before 2022. We are an essential addition, or rather we complement first-party deterministic past purchase or loyalty data. And the three key things that we help every marketer with is identify your next new customer. So uncover new purchase intent. Conquest your competitors' customers who our model can identify and tell you that these are the guys most likely to switch. And also we allow, our model allows you to target the passions of your customers, thereby, maximizing your media sponsorships, your celebrity endorsements, and so on. So that's what I had about Affinity Answers, Kristina. And yeah, definitely,
Great.
Open to any questions that you would like to discuss.
Thanks, Maya. It's fascinating. I have to say, when you look at the level of information and data that does flow through social channels, I think it's an amazingly large and diverse data asset. So I can definitely see how much insight can really be gleaned off the back of that. And obviously, it's organizing that is a huge value, because I'm sure there's also a lot of noise in there, and then really being able to determine what the key signals are and what's driving brand affinity and what's driving choices for purchase. Yeah, it's really interesting. Thank you for that presentation. Yeah. I do have a couple questions for you, that came up as I was listening to your presentation. So one of them is, as looking at the leading position you have in the social powered data insights, can you explain how the role of social insights how that role of the social insights for behavioral targeting has been evolving for marketers and brands, particularly in APAC, where your focus is?
That's a very relevant question, considering that we are expanding into APAC, and APAC is really seeing, or poised, I would say rather poised, for phenomenal growth in the programmatic space. I was recently reading a report by Dentsu, and they have predicted that in 2021 the ad spend is going to increase by 5.9% in APAC. And the share of digital as well is going to be increasing by almost 10% in the APAC region, taking it to about 57% of the overall ad spend. So this is really promising, right? And today, in APAC, as you know, there's a heavy use of web and mobile apps. Add to that 5G, commerce, connected TV, and there's a huge evolving market for marketers to really go to market with, right? And in these promising times, they really need innovative strategies. They really need to change their go-to-market strategies to be able to align with the changing digital landscape. So there is a need for advanced targeting capabilities across multiple platforms. And that really can be provided by social affinity, right? You want to target people across multiple platforms. In fact, partnering with Eyeota, we are able to deliver enhanced targeting across the digital landscape. And how does social insights really make all this exciting? We're able to provide increased reach. We're able to, stick to still having the same relevance. I mean, you can expand reach, but you need to really have relevance, right? How do we are able to offer personalization? Marketers can really deliver personalized content if they have a very specific target audience, right? So I think that's why it makes it very interesting or exciting for social affinity insights to help marketers evolve in this growing market.
Yeah, and it's there are a lot of different types of audience tools and opportunities that marketers have. Social affinity is one of those. So how would you say, you did explain it in your presentation, but just as a kind of a deep dive into exactly what is the role that the social affinity plays, and how would you compare that to other targeting tools that marketers might have that they're accessing?
Yeah, definitely. So, I think social affinity, when compared to other targeting tools, it brings in clarity and quantification. Clarity and quantification to what? To the pre-intent phase which a buyer goes to, the phase between awareness and actually converting, right? So the customer first becomes aware of a brand or of a product, and then he goes ahead and converts or does not convert, right? So I think social affinity really helps you to bridge that gap between these two stages, where just because of the insights you have about the customer, you're able to target them more effectively, and you're able to predict that this individual, right, or this ID is going to have how much of an affinity towards this product. So for example, if I talk about a lipstick, right, generally targeting for a lipstick is females in the age group whatever 20 to 45 or 50, right? But if you were running a campaign for a mineral based lipstick, how would you target? Would everybody be interested in mineral based lipstick? No, right? And that's where just understanding, so who would be likely to be interested in a mineral based lipstick? Somebody who is who's into environment friendly products.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah. So how do you understand that who's this person, or who's the person whom I'm going to target, who will be interested in this mineral based cosmetics? One approach is target everyone, right? And then hope that some of them will. But if you really know based on their engagement with different brands, it could even be engagement with different environment related websites, right? Or if I am a person who keeps also posting or follows a lot of, I took just environment as an example for a mineral based lipstick, but that's one of the criteria, right? So then I could be a person who's showing an over-indexed affinity towards subscribing for environment friendly or mineral based products or cosmetic, right? So that's where I think, social affinity has an edge. It helps you to expand your audience in a very meaningful way.
Yeah.
Right, in a very logical way. And I'm not saying we should not go by deterministic. I think social affinity helps to supplement, the efforts made by marketers when they are targeting to make customers more aware and to ensure that they convert faster.
Absolutely. And I think there are a lot of nuances that would come through, through behavior in social environments that would never show up on the demo, as you quite clearly depicted in your example. So you mentioned Neutronian and the certification that you went through with them. I think we've also been a big supporter of theirs as an independent entity that is monitoring and auditing the data landscape, which we've always been a huge supporter of having that level of transparency in the market. So just maybe if you could share with everyone, what were the requirements for Affinity Answers to go through that and receive that certification?
Yeah, definitely, Kristina. We know that, even Eyeota is one of the flagship data partners who are certified by Neutronian. And we were really excited to receive this certification. As you know, there are a lot of regulations out there. And we have to be really conscious, or we have to be cautious in terms of how we are using social media data, right? We make sure, how do we utilize the social media data, even to train our model in a very privacy conscious manner. And that's what Neutronian, completely evaluated us on. It was on how are we, really collecting, what is our data collection methodology? What is how does our model work? What is the approach to creating brand affinity audiences, right? How are we leveraging contextual indicators? How are we leveraging, sentiment from anonymized social profiles? because those insights are what we base our entire enrichment process and our audiences on, right? So these were, the key things which Neutronian evaluated in terms of our data quality, the transparency, how our model works, how does it use the social media data, how does it pick up contextual indicators, how are you able to say that this particular individual or this ID has a high affinity towards a certain brand, right? Without accessing any personal information of that individual.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah.
No, that makes a lot of sense, and that's it's a great clarification for everyone. I think because what's important is what we've also seen is the data world can be incredibly complex, and when you have someone stay in an agency or someone who's trying to decide which data sources to use, they can't necessarily comprehend all of the complexities behind how these data sources are, how the data is being sourced and modeled, and I think having someone review that and give them a certain level of assurance that data is being handled properly is a great step for the industry, really. So glad you guys also took part. So Maya, it's been fantastic talking to you. It's as I think it's a super exciting space, and as you mentioned, I think it is a space that will continue to explode in terms of the amount of data and insight that can be garnered from all of our activity in social. And yeah, excited to see how we continue to expand, and very, very happy to be supporting you guys through the expansion into APAC. So thank you so much, Maya. And I'm sure that if anybody has any questions, they can reach out to you directly over LinkedIn, or you can contact Eyeota as well.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks so much, Kristina. It was wonderful having this chat with you. And, we already discussed, I think we are really excited about this partnership with Eyeota, which has been really growing our business, and I hope as yours as well, over the last couple of years since we started the global partnership. And definitely APAC being like I said, a huge potential for us to work in this market and grow. It's really exciting times, and I look forward to rest of 2021 and 2022 for us to just reach higher levels of excellence in this space. So thanks again, Kristina, and yes, absolutely. Any questions, I would be happy to take them from anybody who's kind of watching this webinar.
Great. Okay. Thanks, and thank you everyone for listening. We will see you at the next Eyeota audience data sessions that will be coming out soon. Take care.